Hey guys, Will Chambers here, AR15 Hunter. Got another review for you today, and today we're looking at a new trigger. This is the Elftmann Tactical Match Trigger. This is one of their single-stage trigger systems for the air platform rifles, and if you've read some of my reviews in the past, you know that I'm a two-stage trigger guy, especially in a hunting AR. However, single-stage triggers are very popular amongst tactical shooters, and there's a lot of hunters that like a single-stage trigger in their AR. And for you guys, that's why we're testing this today. Thankfully, Elftmann Tactical was nice enough to send us this match trigger. I chose the flat trigger bow for this test just because I like flat triggers in my 1911s and figured, hey, I'd like to try one here. This is a very, very nice trigger, very well made. It's a drop-in unit, so it's a cartridge that you just drop right in, put the pins in, you got a couple set screws to clamp down there, and you're done. One other thing that's really cool about this trigger is it is fully adjustable as far as the pull weight is concerned. So it is shipped as a about 4-pound trigger. However, you can adjust it from 2 3/4 pounds up to 4 pounds or anywhere in between there with just a simple Allen wrench, which is included. So very cool trigger. We tried it out at the stock weight right from the factory, which was right just a hair over 4 pounds. Felt really good. Did some adjusting on it, took it all the way down to 2 3/4 pounds just to see what it was like. And no matter what weight I set the trigger, the one thing I really liked is that it was a consistent break. The break didn't change. I didn't feel any difference in how the break of the trigger was, the reset, or anything else. Just the only difference was the pull weight, which is kind of nice. Another thing that's cool about the Elftmann trigger is that no matter what pull weight you set, it still has a full power hammer. So if you're at 2 3/4 pounds, it's still going to have plenty of inertia on the hammer to set off hard primers if you're shooting like a 7.62 by 39 cartridge, or let's say the 17 WSM cartridge. Now, I haven't tested this with Franklin's F17 yet. We hope to do that. I'm going to ship it out to Eric so he can test it out with the 17 WSM. But it should ignite the primer with no problem on that. So overall, it's a pretty awesome trigger. Real happy with it. I'm going to see if I can hit this coyote down here at 200 yards and see what I can do shooting at a target at that distance, which is a pretty average distance to shoot a coyote, and see if I can get some quick follow-up shots on the steel thanks to the short reset of the Elftmann Tactical trigger. Let's see what we can do. Alright, so as you can see, I was able to easily hit that coyote-sized steel target at 200 yards from the standing. The trigger really helps. You have good trigger control. Even at, I believe this is set at about 3.5 pounds right now. Even at 3.5 pounds, it seems lighter when I'm going to pull that trigger, and some of that's probably due to the flat trigger bow. A lot of people report that a flat trigger bow makes the trigger feel lighter than it really is. And quick follow-up shots are no problem. Now, at 200 yards, it's a pretty small steel target for me to hit in the standing. Maybe your skills are better, but I was happy with the performance. And we've got a man-sized Echo silhouette at 300 yards. I'm probably going to shoot at that next here, so we'll roll some of that in. But also dry firing. We're going to roll here a dry firing practice video where I had in the bench, on my little jig that I set up for doing dry fire practice, and you guys can see and hear both the break and reset of the trigger. Check it out. Alright guys, so I got the rifle mounted here in my vise. I'm going to do some dry fire practice so you guys can see the trigger movement, you can hear the break, and you can hear the reset and see how it all operates here. So here we go. Got a nice short positive reset, really like that. And the break is nice and crisp, and there's no creep at all. You just pull, pull, pull. Once you hit the weight needed, it just breaks nice and clean, and you have very minimal over travel. All right, so you guys have seen this thing in action when dry firing. You could be, you've been able to see and hear the break and reset, which again, the reset on this trigger is just awesome, nice and short, very positive, and the break is real nice. If you want to know what I compare it to as far as crispness, I'd say it's right in line with like a Geisley SSA. Not a super crisp trigger, but it's definitely very pleasing. It's a nice clean break, and I could definitely see myself using this as a hunting trigger. Even though I do like two-stage triggers better. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking here. This is a great trigger. I think the MSRP on it was about $269, so a little expensive compared to some of the other trigger options out there, but definitely worth it. It's a very well-made trigger. I'd say the price is probably the only negative about this trigger. It's just a little bit more expensive than a lot of the competition, but really fine trigger. Make sure you guys check out Elftmann Tactical. Their website link will be down below in the description. Also, check out our written report at AR15Hunter.com. We'll have a link down in the description for that as well. And let's see if I can hit this steel at 300 yards. It's just an Echo silhouette size target. So, got a few rounds left. Take care, guys. God bless. I missed some there, but that was fun. Take care, guys. See you next time.